Thank you for watching. This is a terrifying film. The clown butcher is cruel and bloody, with endless killing methods. At night, he stains the hills red. His eyes, behind the mask, gleam with bloodthirst. Those who stumble upon this land will die without burial. The murder scenes seem real, not acted. People sweat profusely. Upon release, the film scared many viewers to death. The film was banned globally. All copies were destroyed. The actors vanished, and the director disappeared without a trace. Yet, film fanatic Taylor became obsessed. As a new director, Taylor decided to uncover the film's secrets. With just $500 and a rental car, he set out to make a documentary. Through blurry stills and online clips, Taylor's friend Jack found Sarah, the only surviving extra. Now grown, Sarah works at a nightclub. Taylor spent his budget to cast her as the lead. Sarah agreed to visit the original filming location with the crew. After a brief opening interview, Taylor, Sarah, and Jack prepare to head to the site. Jack's girlfriend Jenny, worried, decided to join them. The four-person crew set off, unaware of the danger ahead. During a break, Sarah found a headless clown doll in the woods. It triggered memories of her time on set as a child. She dropped the doll to leave. Suddenly, she felt a presence. Turning, she saw the clown butcher staring at her. Sarah turned and bumped into Taylor. Looking back, the woods were empty, perhaps just a hallucination. They continued on, interviewing people who had seen the film. They described its horror, saying the killing seemed real. After the interview, they continued into the dense forest. On the way, they found hooks with bones, seemingly human, long decayed. Seeing two large trees, Sarah recalled a childhood scene. An actress hung by hooks on a curved tree, feet pierced and tied to a stone. As the butcher cut the rope, the tree snapped straight, tearing the actress in half. Sarah witnessed it all. Even now, the memory chills her. At night, they set up camp, unaware of eyes watching from the darkness. Jack and Jenny slept. Taylor and Sarah discussed films. Suddenly, a noise was detected. Taylor investigated, then blacked out. They awoke tied up. 3 lumberjacks they'd interviewed earlier had kidnapped them, familiar with the jungle and eyeing the women. Finding only a gun besides filming equipment, they mocked the poor crew, planning to force Sarah to act in a twisted film. Suddenly, an axe flew out, killing one. A figure rushed out, shooting but missing. The butcher bit his palm. The butcher grabbed an iron rod, smashing the kneeling man's head. Another shot at him, ineffectively. The man's neck was slit instantly. Lisa saw a knife, reached for it, but the butcher grabbed her throat. Shocked he wasn't dead, Lisa, desperate to survive, began singing a children's song. The butcher, influenced, reached out for his gun in a suicide attempt, but seeing that 3 other people too pointed their guns at them, Lisa promptly turned to run. The butcher started chasing Lisa. She ran deep into the jungle with the butcher on her heels while the other 3 people were left unattended. Taylor immediately initiated a rescue mission for Lisa, while Jack and Jenny debated. They theorized that the butcher was immune to bullets because he was wearing a bulletproof vest. Jenny, on the other hand, was adamant about calling the police, but given the dense woods, she had no reference point to describe her exact location. Suddenly, Jack noticed that their shotguns were loaded with blanks, which meant that the butcher was not immune. They actually stood a chance to stand up against him. Suddenly, there was a rustling in the forest. Jack was shot down, but it wasn't fatal. Simultaneously, Taylor, who was looking for Sarah, stumbled upon a villa. Venturing in through the back door, he found a striking red room. It was packed with film, which confused him. Following a noise, he discovered Lisa, in the nude, tied to a bed. The scene was grisly. Elsewhere, Jenny, who had also come to the villa, intended to seek help from the residents only to find out that they were decomposing corpses. Coincidentally, Taylor, having freed Lisa, got ambushed by the butcher simultaneously. The butcher burst from the window, knocking both Taylor and Lisa out. He then dashed violently towards Taylor, knocking him off balance. Jenny, taking advantage of the chaos, escaped. The butcher then moved towards Lisa. Surprisingly, she commanded him in a stern voice to chase Jenny. Taylor, witnessing all this, was shell-shocked. Jenny, seeking shelter, stumbled into a room filled with naked corpses, a sight out of hell. The butcher followed, but left disappointed after finding no trace of her. Much to his surprise, Jenny had hidden in the butcher's black clothes to survive, and cautiously stepped outside. To her worst fear, turned around to find the butcher perched on the roof behind her. Jenny was caught by the butcher and put in a small hut. Taylor was tied to a chair on the other side. As she wondered, a man entered the room. Taylor recognized him as the film's director, but he had died after the movie was shelved. He asked, puzzled, "Aren't you dead?" The director told him it was just acting. Taylor asked, "Did you play the killer, Butcher?" The director showed a video explaining the original actor's poor performance. So he played the butcher himself, killing the actor for realism. This saved on salary but increased compensation costs significantly. He found a boy, forced him to cut his face, and brainwashed him daily. Then the director pushed Taylor to the filming location. He wanted to show the young director true art. Lisa was filming Jack's torture, slashing him repeatedly. The director was angry, but Lisa called him Dad happily. He hid the film, creating mystery, and sent Lisa to lure victims. Curious people would find Lisa and become unpaid actors. But father and daughter had a conflict over control. The director thought only he could film and disliked Lisa's ideas. She angrily called the butcher, who stopped his game with Jenny and came to the set to torture Jack under the director's orders. Jenny freed herself, grabbed a machete, and saw Jack being tortured through the door crack. Terrified, she escaped through a back exit. During filming, Lisa argued with the director again. He shot her in anger. Lisa fell. The butcher was heartbroken, but the director was pleased. The angry butcher then tackled the director. The camera fell aside. The absorbed director still yelled that this wasn't in the script. Taylor broke free and took the camera to finish the film that had cost so many actors' lives. The butcher stabbed the director repeatedly. After the director died, he turned towards Taylor with the camera. Dying, Taylor thought not of escape, but of continuing to film. As the butcher pinned Taylor down, ready to kill him, Jenny stabbed the butcher from behind. The brainwashed killer finally fell. They thought they'd escaped, but Sarah knocked Jenny down with an iron bar. The director's shot had hit its mark. Taylor ended up tied to a chair, gagged. A huge screen faced him, with Sarah and all the dead actors arranged behind him in the audience. Sarah's final scene: make Taylor watch footage of the killed actors until he breaks down and dies. Sarah started the projector and left. Gruesome images played as Taylor watched, horrified and trapped. Unlike other horror films, Taylor became the first character to die from watching one. Near breakdown, he recalled his dream of directing to create great films, willing to sacrifice for art. Thus, this costly film was completed, with Taylor becoming one with the movie he loved. Months later, Sarah entered a room holding the pregnant Jenny, carrying the butcher's child. The old director was dead. Sarah plans to raise Jenny's child as the next psycho killer for a movie sequel. The film ends here.